Love is still the answer because love is always the answer. Yes? That's right. So good morning, Riverside. All right, I'll take that. Yeah. So I am Jeff Ryan. I am the senior minister here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, where we know that love lives here and we belong. And we are family, correct? Because love makes a family, yes? Yes, love makes a family. So aside from love making a family, what else do you think makes a family? Call it out. Shout it out. Trust. Community. Huh? Support. Disagreement. Compromise. Cake. Pie. Okay. Togetherness. Wholeness. If there's issues, we work it out. All right. What does biology have to do with it? Some people are like, not too much. Something, not too much. What about genetics? Nah, not really. How about legal documents? Again, this crowd is like, nah. What about last names? Tomorrow said, oh gosh, no. Values? Yeah. Culture? Yeah. Okay. So I am so happy that you all answered the way you did about family. That makes my talk so much easier, and we can get out of here that much faster. So happy Father's Day, right? Not that fast. Okay. Right? The reason I asked is I wanted to take a temperature to see what it is you're already thinking about family and what constitutes a family. Because in our culture, in our society, those things that I listed off to you when I asked you, well, what about biology and genetics and legal documents and names? And sometimes values and culture also come into play, right? Conformity sometimes comes into play when we're talking about this. So when we think about our first family, are perhaps our biological family or the family that we were adopted into early on. But when we think about our first family teaches us what love is, or their version of it, right? They teach us what love means. Sometimes it means love is abundant, or love is scarce, right? They teach us that mistakes are survivable or not. They teach that belonging is unconditional or not. Some of us, when we leaned into our families, right, when that first family, some of us learned that you are loved, you are safe, and you matter. That there is a deep love that is abundant and available to you here in this nuclear family or in this family unit. Others of us perhaps learned that love is earned. Belonging is absolutely conditional, and part of you is unacceptable. And for many more of us, perhaps we received a combination of the two. Kind of mixed messaging. Maybe messaging from one side of the family is one way, another side of the family is another way. And then even when we look at it further, our socialization, as we were socialized in our family unit, and then we went into school and out into the world, we began to learn pretty quickly that this is us, and that's them. This is the family, and those are strangers. These are your people, and those people are not. These are our cultures and values, and those are not. We learned early on to begin seeing differences, to begin seeing other, and to begin labeling other. And so we hardened our identities early on, and then we also fell into labels. I'm this, I'm that. I'm from Hawaii. I'm Texan. I'm white, I'm black. I'm Latino, I'm Latina. I'm Asian. Right? We begin to learn, we begin to lean into these identities of othering, and so we're constantly drawing circles around ourselves. And guess what Spirit's trying to do? Spirit's trying to erase the circles. But we keep drawing them, don't we? We keep drawing them. This all kind of starts from that biological family and it starts with that socialization, and there's no right or wrong about it necessarily. It's just kind of the way it happens. We might have a very loving and generous family, but at some point there is a us and them. There is an inside and an outside. There is this artificial circle that we've learned to create based on our own ideas or values or what we've been taught or what we agree with and what we don't agree with, right? So families of origin can be really beautiful, beautiful support systems where they show love and respect and teach and we learn and we grow. And families of origin can be some of the deepest places for division. And that causes great pain, does it not? Because we think that, this family of origin is supposed to love me. They're supposed to love me unconditionally. This person gave birth to me. This man fathered me. These grandparents are part of my life. They're supposed to love me. Aren't my siblings supposed to love me? And for whatever reason, sometimes that's just not the case. Sometimes that's just not the case. So what do is we find some of our deepest connections then are to others, to mentors, to teachers, to friends' families, to other people in our society with whom we share more values or whom we share a commonality or some sort of community where we share and we feel like, with this group of people or with this person, I feel seen, I feel heard, I feel valued. You see, belonging is belonging is the biggest, deepest longing that we as humans have. We long to belong. But belonging isn't about conformity. Belonging is about love. Some say blood is thicker than water. Have you heard that? How many of you agree with blood is thicker than water? I see a lot of heads shaking. Right? So there's two ways of looking at blood is thicker than water. One is more of a more recent common reframing, but we'll go with the original one, the one that people usually think of as blood is thicker than water, meaning that, by golly, you better be loyal to your biological family. You better be loyal to that family of origin against all others. Loyalty is there. Is that the common definition that you guys have heard? Yeah. A reframing of it that's been happening more recently, which is an interesting one, is called blood of the covenant versus water of the womb. And what this means is blood of the covenant, blood that we have shed together, tears that we have shed together, but commonalities that we have of of choosing our family, of choosing our relationships, those commonalities, those people, that blood that we share by covenant because we have chosen to enter into a commitment or we've chosen to enter into an agreement we're choosing, is thicker than the water of the womb, meaning it's thicker than the biological family. Now I want to say, this is a modern reframing of wrapping people's heads around like, well, you know what, I really prefer my chosen family to my biological family. And so it's a way of reframing. But as we know, the common usage is the other way. Yeah? But how many of you here have family that is not related to you? Okay, everybody has family. Somebody that you would consider family that's not related? Some auntie, some uncle, play cousin, brother, sister, parents even, grandparents, aunties, uncles, right? How many of you have spouses or had spouses? Guess what? You chose them too. They're not related to you by blood. They're chosen family as well. You chose to be with this person, even if you're not with them anymore. For a time, you chose to be with this person and have a family with that person. You have elected, you have chosen family. And you have chosen them, and you've chosen your family based on likes and dislikes, values, culture, way of being, lifestyle, and hopefully the fact that you fell in love or that you love these people. So biology creates relatives. Hear that? Biology creates relatives. Love reveals family. I'll say it again. Biology creates relatives, but love reveals family. Hear me, I'm not saying love creates family, am I? I'm saying love reveals family. Because when we know that we are all one, that we are part of the infinite, eternal, the oneness, the allness, the isness that is in all, through all, as all, that is love, is another name that we call spirit, another name that we call love. So everything, therefore everyone, is love made manifest. Even that crazy uncle with his conspiracy theories, his orange skin, his pool that's blue and like coming up, all of them, even the crazy uncle, is love made manifest. Yes, Lou, I see you're not. Even those folks are brothers and sisters. They are love made manifest. However, in order to become a family, love reveals the family, which means that we get to remember, oh, we are all family. We get to remember that we are all love, and we get to choose to love again and again and again and again, even when it's uncomfortable, even when we disagree, like Alan said at the beginning, even when we have challenges with one another. We, my beloveds, you who said at the very beginning when I asked you how you define family, talked about love, and you talked about trust, and you talked about support, and you talked about respect, and you talked about honor. All of that is how we get to show up, is how we get to apply what we already know. We get to love them up close, and sometimes we love them from their highest and furthest good. but we love them nonetheless, right? So why do we seek this chosen family? Well, sometimes our biological family can't provide that for us. And sometimes there is something deep within our souls that even though we love our biological family, there's something deep within our souls that is just crying out for more. And so we have a chosen family. We have an expanded family because it is love that is accepting love. It is consciousness that is recognizing consciousness. It is one recognizing another. That is the oneness within each other. So a chosen family is not a consolation prize. A chosen family is something that's very intentional because you are choosing to see them. You are choosing to accept them. You are choosing to include them. You're choosing to love them, and you're choosing again and again and again and again. And they are choosing you again and again and again and again. Because family is an expression of the one life knowing itself and recognizing itself through our relationships. Love enters into the relationship and families form. Compassion enters into conversation and belonging grows. Acceptance replaces judgment and we begin to feel at home. How many of you have seen the movie Lilo and Stitch? Right? There's a famous line in Lilo and Stitch. Ohana means family. And family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. Ohana. We use this word in Hawaii all the time. Ohana. It means not just your immediate family. It means not just your calabash cousins. Calabash is a big bowl, and people kind of get thrown into it, or hanai is adopted. But people kind of get thrown into it, and we kind of collect family along the way. Right? There are several friends of mine who call my parents mom and dad. I call their parents mom and dad. You know, aside from Ed's family, who I call Mom and Papa Joe. And I call my in-laws my in-loves, because that's truly what they are. They are my in-loves. I love them to pieces. We're a tight family, a small family, but we're a tight family. Because I choose them and they choose me. I have cousins that are closer than my biological cousins. I have aunties and uncles that I have known much longer, not longer, but much more, and have been a part of my life in greater ways than biological aunts and uncles have. These are the families that we collect. These are the communities that we collect. And so when we think about this idea of ohana, it's not just those people, but it is the larger community. So here at Riverside CSL, we have a spiritual family, do we not? Yes, we do. What is our spiritual family based on? Love, obviously, duh, okay. What else? We're all one. What else? Belonging, respect, values, coming together, community, sharing, right? We see one another, we honor one another, we respect one another, we have a shared ideas about the way the world works, we have shared values, what we value, and how we live those values out into the world. And so we come together in this room, in this community, as a spiritual family. We don't always agree, right, Frank? We don't always agree, but we get along. We love each other, even through the disagreements, or even through the I don't know about that one, but okay. I got it. We can work forward. We can move forward. Because when we walk through these doors, we find love, we find inclusion, we find acceptance, we find belonging. So often people walk through those doors, and they walk through the doors with some kind of a wound or a longing, a sadness, a challenge in their life. then they come and they sit down at these tables that we have. And maybe for the first time, they're seen, they're heard, and they feel valued. There's a sense of belonging that happens in this community because we love so deeply. We welcome, we invite, we include. We make sure to express these values. We make sure that we are caring, that we are loving, and that no one is left behind or forgotten. So what I invite you to do in this moment is I invite you to move to the tables, since we're just talking about it. Let's move to tables and let's have a conversation here around the questions that you see on the screen. Who is your chosen family? How does love create belonging in your life? And then how can you help someone feel more at home this week or more at home in the world this week? How can you help facilitate that? So your homework for this week is the following. There we go. So you're going to reach out to one person who has helped you or who has helped shape your life, but may not know how much they matter to you. So you're going to reach out to one person who you feel has shaped your life, but they themselves might not know how much they matter to you. And then you're going to send them a note. You're going to make a call. You could send them a text if you wanted to. Or you could have a conversation expressing your gratitude to them. So that is your homework for this week, is to bless somebody who has blessed you through gratitude. All right? So we have the opportunity here to bless our biological family and all that they've done for us, what they gifted us with, what they provided us. Because even if you don't have a great relationship with that family of origin, there are still gifts that you have been given. We bless our chosen family, those people whom have come into our lives that we love tremendously, and we keep choosing them again and again and again. And we bless our spiritual family here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. Because you are welcomed, you are loved, and you are included. And I want to say thank you and express gratitude for all of the men in my life, and that includes everyone in this room, all the men in this room. I want to thank you for showing up the way that you show up as men of consciousness, as men of love, as men of generosity and gratitude, as men of support and understanding, men of inclusion, men of love. And I want to express my heartfelt gratitude and love to my dad. I wrote about him in the email earlier this week. But I want to thank you, Dad, for continuing to choose me, continuing to choose Michelle, continuing to choose our partners, continuing to choose to be the dad in our lives. I want to thank you for your love, for your patience, and for your generosity with us. You didn't have to do it. You don't have to love us, and yet you choose to. And for that, I am ever so grateful. I love you, and so it is. All right, so thank you. And so I want to honor one more dad here today, and that is Marty Ross, because Marty, is Marty, and he's fabulous and fantastic. Would you agree? Yes. But on Thursday, Marty passed his oral panel, and so Marty is officially a licensed spiritual practitioner with Centers for Spiritual Living and Riverside CSL. So Marty, I know we already had cake back there because, I couldn't wait, folks. So we already had cake, but these flowers are a token of our love and respect for you, as well as this card for you from the congregation. So we love you. We look forward to your service with us for many, many years to come. And thank you for the yes that you've said to your heart and to the call in your life, this life of service. So thank you.
And thank you, family.
Come into the camera. Let the folks see you at home.
Hi, everybody. Wonderful family around here. Wonderful to be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Marty. All right, so Marty can stay standing. The rest of the practitioners and core council, please stand and join Marty as we move into a moment of prayer. Recognizing here and now that there is just this one life, this one eternal presence. This presence is love. And from itself, as love, it brought forth all of life and all of creation. It is both Father and Mother. It is whole and complete. It is beyond the binary. It is the one. So all that God is, all that Spirit is, all that love is harmony and balance and peace and joy, prosperity, abundance. It is life, it is light. It is the creator. It is the source and the supply. And it never withholds anything. It continues to give of itself from the one source, the one substance that is, for it is the thing itself. And so withholding nothing, it is unconditional love. It is generosity. It is support and strength in the one power. And this one power, this one presence, this one love expresses itself in, through, and as each one gathered here this day. For there is nothing for us to be created from, made from, than this one life, this one love. Each one of us is a divine emanation and impartation, a manifestation of this one. And how good it is to know this, how good it is to recognize this. That there only being love, there's only this one, that we are inseparable from it. It is the very truth of who we are. And so I speak my word for this beloved community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, knowing that each of us has gathered here in love. Each of us has gathered here in unity, in inclusion, in belonging, that we belong to one another, that we share and demonstrate this love, that we are a transparency for the love of Spirit to flow through and out into the greater community, out into the world around us. Knowing that each one is a beacon of this love, a pillar of strength, a place of faith. Each one of us is a center for the living Spirit. We go about this day, we go about our lives, doing the work of love, being the power and presence of love, as only each one of us can, in our unique ways, in our unique abilities, but always in joy, always in harmony, always in peace, and always in generosity. And so for this day and this love that has revealed a family here at Riverside CSL, I do give thanks. I give thanks for the continual renewal and revealing of love itself. And so I release this word now into the law, The law that says yes. Yes, yes, yes. And let it be, and so it is.